everybody. Welcome to Revival Town Podcast. I'm Chuck Tate. That's Andy King.
How you doing, mate?
I'm doing great, mate. How you doing?
Good, doing good. You know, summer is definitely rolling along. You know, we're only a few weeks away from Mission Peoria.
I'm excited. I'm representing today.
I saw your hat. Oh, come on, look into that camera.
Okay, all right.
Wait, see, there you go. Look at that hat.
Let's
look
go. Mission Peoria 2025.
So we'll be doing something similar than we've done in the past. I know we were talking about this the other day, but wanted to let everyone know we are going to be doing it, podcasting all the nights at Mission Peoria.
Yeah.
We're at Rock Church the first night.
Yep.
That'd be good. Perhaps we could do something live with the kids.
Hey, that'd be fun.
That might be cool.
Yeah, let's
right?
do it.
So got a lot happening, and the summer. Obviously, July 4th was just passed, right?
Yeah,
and so
last weekend.
and so it's definitely. You know what? We're halfway to Christmas, mate.
Oh, don't say that.
Oh
my
God! Come on!
You're ready for Christmas.
I am. I am.
You would do Christmas all year round.
Oh,
you love Christmas.
Yeah, I do. I love it. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. But it is still summer, and we've got a special guest.
It is
with
summer.
us
So
today.
this past weekend was 4th of July, and you know there's something that's really, really popular on 4th of July every year.
Fireworks, kicking out the English.
Yes, on both counts. It's the Nathan's hot dog eating contest on ESPN every year.
Now, this was when I moved to America. This was something completely bonkers to me. Right, this is I'd never seen this before in my life.
Yeah,
I mean, I'd never seen fireworks on July 4th in my life. but this whole eating contest thing is crazy. And we started talking, and you started sharing about someone in your church that was connected. And so, why don't you tell us a bit about that?
So he's actually in the studio right now. So cue the music. Here we go. All right, everyone, it's time for another conversation on Revival Town Podcast. Our guest today in the studio is Major League Eating world-ranked Matthew Raible in the house. I have been wanting to get this guy on a long time. Matt, welcome to Revival Town.
Thanks, Chuck.
Yeah, man. So good to have you here. So yeah, Andy, we got a Major League Eater. Did you know there was such a thing?
You know, okay, listen. About a year ago, you started telling me about this. I'm like, this guy's in your church, and he eats what?
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah. Whatever's in front of him.
And so why don't you, Chuck, tell us a little bit about? Well, you haven't done the bio yet. Let's do the bio.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
You ready?
Right. Yeah. Yes. All right.
All right. Here we go.
This is, if you go to MajorLeagueEating.com, you will find that Matthew Raible is ranked number 34. Now, number 1 in the world is somebody you're probably familiar with if you're a fan of the Nathan's hot dog eating contest, and his name is Joey Jaws Chestnut. And we're going to talk about him a little bit, but right now, let me give you the bib sheet of Matthew Raible. Okay.
Go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Matthew Raible's bib sheet from Edwards, Illinois, 45 years old, weight 270. There is a ditty shared over tankards in the dimly lit inns that line the highways and byways of the Major League Eating circuit, and it goes like this. There once was a man from Peoria whose eating style was sexier than Eva Longoria. It's like watching Michelangelo and Da Vinci make a baby, watching this dude, bread in hand, take down biscuits and gravy, and those who bear witness doth chant, Gloria in excelsis Gloria. I botched that.
That was classic.
So these words were inspired by a mild-mannered eater by the name of Matthew Raible. Matthew has never troubled Major League Eating officers with a nickname, or to be fair, it's scorers. This matters not. He has competed in bratwurst, chicken wings, boneless and standard, ribs and hamburgers. He is willing to drive great distances to compete in major league eating events from this Peoria, Illinois base camp. His destination need not be victory. For him, the thrill of competition, standing at the table with the greats, is enough to sate his appetite. He is well liked and always arrives on time for the events for which he has registered. Matthew, again, so good to have you in the studio.
Thanks, Chuck. It's good to be here.
So, so did you write that? No.
No, I did not. I believe Sam wrote that.
So you know what? So you're not only a part of our church, but you're on our staff.
Yes, sir.
So Matthew is our maintenance man at
cool.
Rock Church.
Cool.
And he serves in multiple capacities, not just but he's on our staff with maintenance, but he also serves in our media booth and runs Propri Center from time to time.
Anywhere they need me, I try to step up.
He's just good people. But sometimes I notice that coffee bar supplies are missing. I'm kidding.
Snacks.
Where are the snacks? Oh, yeah. I saw somebody walking into the sound booth carrying a couple large bags. No, I'm kidding. Oh, man. Well, Matt, we definitely need to talk about this. So, first of all, you're currently ranked 34th in the world. So what does that ranking actually mean in a competitive eating world? And then we're going to find out how you even ended up doing this. But for those that are still wrapping their mind around, there is a real professional league that you're a part of.
The ranking helps you get into contests. There's only so many spots at a table, and so they go from number one on down and fill the seats on who wants to be there. So being 34, I get in most of the events that I want to be in, and it's just a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun being there.
So let's just clarify for people that this isn't just hot dogs, right?
No,
we're familiar with hot dogs because of Joey Chestnut. Did I get that right?
You got it right.
Joey Chestnut, and obviously 4th of July, where they cram them in, right?
That is our Super Bowl. That is our Super Bowl.
Okay,
right
that's
there.
that's
Our
a
World
good way of
Series.
putting it.
Yeah.
There's like 50 world rankings, right?
Yes.
All right. So you probably have to qualify to even be in that contest because don't they only do 10 or how many do they do?
To qualify for Nathan's, I don't even know if there was 10. There might have only been like 8 this year.
Okay.
It varies by year depending on sponsors, and then you have to win a contest. You have to win a qualifier in order to get into the big dance.
Okay.
And since COVID, they've started doing wild cards because they don't have as many contests as they used to, and so it depends on where you're at, how many it takes to get in. There's some years there's big numbers at the qualifiers, and other years you can get in with 25 or 27 hot dogs. You might win a qualifier at that and get to go to Coney Island.
All right,
just casual 25 or 27 hot dogs.
Just a small number.
No kidding. I had a hot dog for lunch today.
I'm having it for dinner tonight.
Oh man! I went to my
usually, if I have hot dogs, it's usually like 8 or 10.
I seriously, I finished teaching this Bible class, at our local college. And,
while you were fasting.
While I was fasting, and hot dogs only. No, and I went to my parents for lunch, and I had a hot dog.
There you go.
So I didn't even think about it. That hey, we're talking to.
I thought I was getting hot dogs. I don't know.
I know. We missed an opportunity here.
We did.
We missed that. So we may have to have you back sometime and just lay out some.
If you're buying lunch, I'll be here.
Hey, all right.
All
right. Go. Well, let me ask you, Matt. What was your first competition, and what made you say, "Yep, I want to do this"?
My first competition was a local in Peoria Bar Louie contest. It was tater tots. I did like 3 pounds in 6 minutes.
Can I pause here a minute? Wait. So like we were talking about just a moment ago, this is not just hot dogs. So I am letting everyone know right now, you're about to hear some crazy foods that this gentleman throws down his neck just to get into the competitions, right?
Yep.
So tater tots. I know I
love tater tots.
They're an American thing, right? So can you explain what tater tots are, Chuck? Because there are like people listening all over that don't have that.
So a tater tot is like tater tots. No,
exactly.
No, they're like almost like hash browns that are
just small hash browns,
that are smashed into the size of like a like a pig's in a blanket, like a little mini sausage.
Okay.
But
Can you
it's-
explain
but-
pigs in a
yeah,
blanket?
Okay, yeah. Okay. So
All these American things.
it's like we're gonna reverse take.
It's like a ping pong ball. Well, it's a ping pong ball.
So the tater tot. A tater tot is about this. I don't know, like about the size of my thumb.
Yeah.
But it's a hash brown. It's basically a hash
Yeah.
brown, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's hash
Sorry.
brown.
Yeah,
I just wanted
it's
people.
a fried potato.
I just wanted people
all
to
right,
know.
yeah, fried potato.
A deep fried potato.
I just wanted people to know that when we're talking to Matthew, we're not just talking about hot dogs. This is an array of food
Yes.
that you throw down,
Yes.
right? Okay, so you started. I didn't want to interrupt, but I did. But you started with tater tots.
A tater tot was the first one I did. Then
And how
that-
many tater tots did you eat?
I did like 3 pounds in like 6 minutes. And then
I don't know if I've had 3 pounds my whole life of no, I do. I love tater tots. I've probably had 3 pounds in my life, but
Oh, yeah.
but not.
How much is in a
6
frozen?
minutes.
How much is in a frozen bag?
Probably
A pound?
maybe
Yes.
maybe a
yeah,
pound.
a typical bag is a pound. Then they do have bigger bags. But
So that'd be like 3 bags.
3 bags of tater tots in 6 minutes. Have you ever choked?
yes,
Okay,
That would be scary.
Yeah,
Too.
yeah. Have you ever
I have-
choked where you were kind of freaked out for a second?
no, not that bad. Because I'm not. I know when it's happening, then I just allow the reversal to happen and get off the stage.
Okay, we won't go into that.
Oh man!
I just let Elvis leave the building.
Yeah, yeah.
So tater tots. Okay, so obviously you got a taste for it there. Sorry,
Yeah,
I
they're
couldn't remember.
good.
No pun
Got a
intended.
taste for it. We got a taste for it. But so then, what went on from there?
Then that summer, I competed in a local hot dog contest with a former major league eater, and we were tied going into, had our last hot dogs in our hand. I looked at him, and I knew there was a 50-50 shot of me reversing if I choked that one down. He put his down, kept it down. I finished second. He's like, dude, you have to go to Rib Fest in Chicago. Fast forward, I go to Rib Fest in Chicago. I finish high enough that I get into the next contest.
Wait. Rib Fest.
Rib Fest in Chicago, yes.
So what are you eating there?
Ribs. I did
Now,
4.
you eat the bones too, right?
Sometimes.
I was just about to say.
I did 4 full slabs of ribs in 8 minutes.
Oh my goodness!
That
And-
is crazy.
And
Sometimes I
lost
get
by a
fully-
lot.
You lost by a
What?
lot.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
What? Wow.
Because there was 2 really great eaters out of Chicago. I think they're both still in Chicago. One is actually number 2 in the world right now, Patrick Bertoletti. And then there's also Tim Gravy Brown. Both great guys, great eaters, and they're just so impressive. It's hard to keep up with them. But I finished high enough that they started recognizing me, and I did several contests. And then I was in, just fast forward to when I signed my first contract, I was in a motorcycle accident on Thursday, I believe, and I competed Saturday morning. Or actually, when I got the contract, I did that. But when I got the contract, I had surgery Friday night. I competed with my arm bandaged up Saturday afternoon in the Quad Cities doing made right sandwiches, and they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, I just got out of the hospital last night. They're like, I'm like, can I eat? He's like, yeah. He's like, is there anything I can do for you? Oh, yeah. Put me on the end of the table so there's nobody hitting my arm. And so I finished well there, and they're like-
Wow.
then I got an email on Monday, said, you're a little bit crazy. You want to sign a contract with us? I'm like, okay. And that was, 15, 16 years ago now?
Wow. Man, and now you're world ranked. How cool is that?
Yeah, I've been
I have so many questions.
I've been ranked a little higher than I am now, but I'm okay where I'm at right now.
Well, you know,
well.
you do use it as a ministry.
Yes.
You know that.
Yes, I do.
We'll get that in here probably in a little bit. But what's the craziest thing you've eaten?
Kimchi.
What?
Kimchi.
What is that?
It's a Korean dish. It's like fermented cabbage, and it is rather spicy, and a little bit of it's good. After a couple of pounds, it's a little bit much, but it was okay. It was a good contest. That and raw oysters,
Oh, no, I couldn't do
Oh
that
my
one.
goodness.
and so those. Are
How
probably
many
the
of
two-
them?
I forget what I did. I don't remember my numbers real good. I mean, other people know exactly what they did and I did.
More than one, though.
Oh yeah, several dozen, and like and most of our contests between 6 and 12 minutes. Most of them are 8 to 10. So it was probably an 8-minute contest, and I probably did. I forget how many dozen. I'd have to look it up, but
Wow.
Wow.
So oysters, kimchi.
Kimchi, yeah.
Kimchi, yeah. Not that guy, Tim.
I like the guy that you just mentioned that he had a middle name Gravy.
Yeah, Tim Gravy Brown. He's a great guy.
Brown Gravy.
Yeah, man, come on. I bet you could throw down some biscuits and gravy.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Wow. What's your favorite theme to eat?
Well, of course, Nathan's, but
Are you sponsored by Nathan?
no, I'm not.
Okay, all right.
But Nathan's is a big sponsor of the league. So
Yeah.
Nathan's hot dogs, St. Elmo's shrimp cocktail, ribs are always a great contest, and wings, because the ribs and wings help a person like me because it's not a total capacity, because you have to work at it, you have to get off the bone, and so it slows everybody down a little bit. So I feel I like those a little bit more.
All right. So throw out contest. What's your favorite thing to eat, period?
Steak.
Okay, all right.
I'd say steak.
Have you ever
meat.
been to one of those truck stops where if you eat like, a
there's
70-pound steak, you get it free? Or
there's
something?
one up north. There was a great big hamburger that I ate.
Okay.
I forget what time was on it, but it was good. And then there's a local place that does a big steak down on the river. I did that one.
Alexander's, right? Yeah.
Alexander's. I did that.
You did it?
Oh yeah, I did that in like 9 minutes. And
My
and then,
mind is just blown because I've been there and I've seen the size of this thing.
and then I finished my wife's dinner.
Not only did you finish it,
Wait.
in 9 minutes,
Did you hear what he said? He then finished his wife's dinner.
Oh my!
How big is that, Alexander's? Can you look that up real quick?
I forget how big that is.
It's like is it 64
I'm
ounce?
going to find out. I'm gonna look it up.
This this. Let me ask you this: what's the thing that you have not enjoyed at all, and you've just gone through
It's
it?
48 ounces.
48. Wait. Let's back up then. 48 ounce.
That's a 4-pound steak.
9 minutes. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
And then you ate your finished. Your
While
wife.
talking to my wife, not like in contest mode, but
Your wife must hate eating with you.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so you were telling me that the thing you hated the most eating.
I'd have to go with the kimchi and the oysters.
Both of them.
They were a little rough. They're not something you eat every day, so it's like wings and ribs, hot dogs. You know what to expect on that stuff. So
You obviously all this stuff that you've mentioned is very savory. Do you do anything that's like dessert type stuff?
we do. We've done Able skeevers. We did pumpkin pie. There is a strawberry shortcake contest. It's out east. I have not done that. That's in New York. That's a little further than I usually travel.
Because you try to get there in one day-ish, right?
Yeah, I mean, unless it's somewhere I want to stay for a couple days. Then I mean, I've gone down to Alabama, down by the Gulf Shores and stuff like that. But yeah, usually mine's one day travel there, one day travel back.
Yeah, well, let's talk about. I mean, obviously, I'm sure there's strategy, right? Is there strategy and training involved with this?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right, so tell us about that.
I usually
It's 48-ounce steak.
Yeah. I usually try to, like, if the contest's on Saturday, I eat big on Thursday, and then I try to fast 36 to 48 hours before I decide to start fasting. There's water training involved that I really don't get involved in. I'm more having fun. The top 10 guys, they do a lot more training than I do. I'm just a regular guy. I just go enjoy eating. But
And they do this at a lot of festivals, is that correct?
Yes, it's usually at a festival, like the Big Ten Championship in Indianapolis.
Oh yeah,
That's a big one. Lots of fairs, and like the Indiana State Fair, we did ice cream at.
But that's
Whoa! Do you get a headache?
The brain freeze, you expect that, but when your heart and your lungs and everything inside your cavity, your abdomen is cold, that kind of freaks you out.
Wow.
When you throw down, almost 2 gallons of ice cream in 6 minutes, everything inside you gets cold.
Wait, 2 gallons in 6
Yeah,
minutes?
I did like 1 3/4. The winner did a little over 2 gallons in 6 minutes of just straight vanilla ice cream. But
Oh my God.
So this is the first podcast ever where you're like, wait, every 2 seconds, wait.
Well, yeah.
Wait a
I
minute.
mean,
So-
come on.
So what are some misconceptions? I'm sure people are listening going like, is this healthy or when I know I've asked you this before and I know somebody listening is thinking this right now. When you finish a contest, do you
I keep it down.
reverse it? You keep it
I usually keep mine down, yes.
you keep yours down. I'm sure there's probably people that do.
There's people that do reverse on, intentionally.
All right. And what he means by that is barf it up.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But I in most of the contests I'm doing, I enjoy the food, and I've always been a big eater, so I like to eat. So I just
Yeah.
keep it down, like, it's good.
That's
Right on.
crazy.
Are there any misconceptions out there about
Most there's more very fit guys and ladies doing this now than there ever has been. I mean, I compete against personal trainers, marathoners, professional bodybuilders. There's so much science into it now. Like nutritionalists, they know about what they're going to do. They know how many calories they're going to eat, and they can plan out their week on what to eat going up to it and what to, obviously hot dogs have lots of sodium and stuff in it. And so they plan out their whole week on that contest.
Okay.
So, have you ever been at a contest where things have gone bad for someone that's like taking it down and choking and things like that?
Nothing really serious. We've had several reversals. I've been involved in a couple of them. Actually, I did one this year doing fried bologna. But no, that's one thing Major League Eating does is they will not start a contest until paramedics are there. We were at a moon pie contest in Memphis, and we waited over an hour because there was no paramedics there. So we were like, no, we're not doing that. In case something happens,
Safety is important.
Yeah, safety is very important.
For the English people that are listening, what was it you just said then?
Paramedics?
No.
Moon pies?
Moon pie.
Moon
Moon
pies?
pie.
The
That
Memphis
is
moon pie.
that is a wagon wheel in England.
Okay.
They're called wagon wheels.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you're English, that's what he just talked about.
Yeah, we do the chocolate ones.
Yeah.
And
That's it. Yeah. Ooh,
They're,
man.
they're very
Man, I
good.
am really getting hungry.
I'm starving. Man.
Well, talk about your faith journey. I mean, I mentioned earlier you're on staff at our church and you serve in multiple capacities, and just always been one of my favorite people. Love Jesus, serve. Talk about your faith.
My faith journey, I've believed in God and the Bible for as far back as I remember. I mean, it's always been there. Haven't always followed it. I haven't always done everything properly. But my wife and I were looking for a home church, and we tried several around town, and we was going to one. We went there for quite a while, and we just didn't quite fit in. And then I was working at a local grocery store at the time, and this guy named Bob Hart. I went over to help him, and I love Bob Hart. I didn't know him well before he passed, but he, we're sitting there talking. I was helping him get something, and he was talking about loving his wife, loving motorcycles, loving his church, and loving this dude named Chuck and this other dude named Chris. I'm like, well, I love my wife, I love motorcycles, and I'm looking for a home church. And I went home and I told my wife about this crazy dude that was at work. She's like, hey, I've heard of Rock Church. Let's go there. And I went there, and this is way off food and everything right now, but the whole church is so welcoming, and I can account to it because they welcome me and my wife in. And you don't have to look a certain way. You don't have to be a certain way. And I just loved it. And, I've learned lots being there and really deep in my faith. and I've learned to listen to that inaudible voice that's deep inside you. And it's my faith has really grown since I've been there.
Wow. Well, so he mentioned a guy named Bob Hart, and Bob was quirky, a unique dude, but we loved on him, and he loved the church, and it really was a divine encounter, a divine appointment. You guys connected. He invited you. You came, and
Yes.
and not knowing that you would be such a big part of our church family, and not knowing that Bob would pass away, and I did the funeral, and I'm forever grateful for that connection.
Oh,
Wow.
it's great. And when I knew I was where I was supposed to be, back to the motorcycle wreck I mentioned earlier, before I got into signing my contract with Major League Eating. So I was in a motorcycle wreck. I was laying in the back of the ambulance, and how they're asking you the questions on, contacts and do you have a church that, a home church? And I said, yeah, Rock Church. I'm like, who said that? Because I'd never had a home church before that.
Wow.
And so that was what, 15 years ago?
Yeah.
16 years ago.
So
And you were in an eating contest a few days later.
Yep.
crazy.
Wow.
Well, and from that though, obviously you then connect with this crazy pastor called Chuck
Yep.
Tate, who's written a few books. And
Yep.
one of the ways that you minister is getting these books to these contests.
That all started with Chuck, because before the book even came out, he gave me one to take to Joey Chestnut in New York City for 4th of July. Things didn't work out there to where I didn't have time with him to explain the book to him and stuff. And so I did our next contest, which was a slug burger contest in Mississippi. And the promoter there saw the book and saw Mark had written the foreword or something. I forget exactly
Mark
what
Batterson.
Mark Batterson.
He endorsed it.
Yeah.
And this is
she-
41 Will Come. This is your
Yes,
first book.
41 Will
Yeah.
Come. And she's like, I'm keeping this for a while. And so she read it, sent it to Joey. Joey asked some questions. I'm not exactly sure the whole process on where that is. But I was like, this is cool. And then I read the book, and I'm like, this is cool. This is something you can give to anybody, whether they're a kid, an old person, anybody in between. And people love getting free things. And so I started taking a couple with me, and I don't always give them out, but sometimes I wish I had more with me to give out because I'm meeting so many people. But
Because you pray about, okay, God's going to direct you to the right
Yes,
people, right?
yes.
You only,
And
it's you don't just get to a contest and hand them to somebody.
No.
You were waiting for the
Yes.
Holy Spirit to guide you, direct you on who's supposed to get one. That's what's really cool, because there's some great stories on the other side of that.
yeah, and some of my
Like Joey.
like Joey. Joey asked.
I got a picture of Joey holding up my book,
That's
and then
Then he
Joey
ate
sent
it?
me a T-shirt.
Wow.
So-
Did he eat it?
So I mean, it's made things fun, and
Yeah.
you know,
Well, even the mayor of Uranus, Missouri, has both of my books.
Yes, he does.
From 2 different contests.
yes,
Right?
Yep, two years in a row. I gave him one. I tell him what the book's a little bit about, and he, started preaching to me his story, his testimony. He had throat cancer, and he's still surviving, and he showed me the scar on his throat, and it's just this year at the contest last year was in Missouri. This year it was at Uranus number 2 in Indiana. I gave one to the mayor, and then I gave one to another lady that was there. And then she started talking about how she's like, I just found God this year. I just got baptized this year. And just started telling me her story. And it's just so fun. I don't know.
It's
what
helped
to
you
say.
start the conversation sometimes.
Yes. If you give somebody something, they usually listen to you for a minute and start asking questions or,
Have you taken any of Chuck's new book
I've,
out yet?
Yes, I've passed a couple out this year. I sent.
But people keep giving them back to him.
No, they do not. No, they do not do that. I mailed a few out to some people that I thought would be interested in it, would like it, and everybody appreciates it. Everybody appreciates free stuff.
Yeah.
And then when they read the book, and one friend of mine, I gave him the book several years ago, and he called me this year. He's like, I've been holding on to this book for 3 or 4 years now, but it's been, floating around. He's like, I really need a 41. He's like, I've started reading it, and he loves it. Wow. He's used it to get him through some tough times, and this has been a fun thing to do.
Man, I appreciate it. I really do. It's just really cool. And you always send me pictures, and sometimes like a police officer holds my book, or it's wild array of people.
There's anywhere from police officers to fellow competitors to sponsors to just somebody on the street. There's one time I was coming back. I was on my bike, and I was coming back from a contest, and I stopped at a gas station. I was in there. Didn't take a book in with me, but I had one, on the bike with me still. And I'm like, hey, how's it going? And he's like, I'm just hanging on till something gets better. I forget exactly how it worded it, but there's a tagline on your book, something similar to that. And I walked out and got it, and I took it back in. I'm like, here, dude, this, and, sometimes I put a little something in it. Sometimes I don't. I just listen, and I do what I feel God is telling me to do.
Man, it's so cool. Wow. Well, most memorable moment. I know we're going to wrap up probably in a second, and we need to come up. We do need to do the big three with Matt.
Okay. Most memorable moment. Probably going to Nathan's. I wasn't competing. I didn't qualify for that year.
And Nathan's is the one in New York. That's the Super Bowl.
That's Coney Island, and just to see that crowd is just it's wild. I mean,
I was looking for you on TV. I remember you sent me pictures. It was so cool. Yeah.
I mean, it's great. I mean, just that experience, is, it's like going to a World Series game or, Game 7 or Super Bowl. I've competed, I've been on stage next to the best in the world. I've been on stage next to Joey Chestnut, Patrick Bertoletti, James Webb, Jeffrey Esper, and am I ever going to beat those guys? No. But I liken it to golf. I used to play golf a lot. I'd rather get beat by Tiger Woods every week than not. I'd rather be on the same field with him. I'd rather be right. So it's just been a lot of fun. I meet lots of people and get to pass out books, and I've got so many stories. Of people.
It's so cool, man. What do you think, dude? What do you think, mate?
Oh man, I keep wondering how this would translate over in England with English food, because there's so many different things.
There's actually a guy over there, Beard Meets Food. He's English, and he does a lot of contests around challenges around the country.
Yeah.
He comes over here and competes also. But,
yeah,
he's a lot of fun.
You know what I mean? Because
cool.
the food is so different over in the UK. Like sausage rolls and Scotch eggs. These are all different things that are made over the UK that would be definitely in this type of thing.
They do a lot of breakfast. You guys got huge breakfasts
over
there. He does a lot of breakfast challenges.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's cool.
Well, if this episode hasn't made you hungry, I don't know.
I am starving.
I don't know what will. So we're recording this before the Nathan's hot dog contest. By the time this airs, it will be over. And I'm just going to go out on a limb and say I'm 100% certain that Joey Chestnut, our reigning champion, is still the champion.
He's not the reigning champion.
Oh, that's right, because he wasn't in it last year.
He didn't complete last year.
That's right.
Okay, well let's ask Matthew what are your thoughts? Because you know a lot of these guys. Is he still up to par, or do you think there's some that could take it?
Joey was his best bet, but there's a handful of guys behind him that if they won, I would not be totally surprised, including the defending champion Patrick Deep Dish Bertoletti, Jeffrey Esper, James Webb, and Nick Weary would probably be my top 4 underdogs.
Okay.
Now take me through this. I've seen. Is it so they dip it in water, right?
Usually
the bun. Right?
Usually you take the dog out. Usually take 2 dogs, break it in half, start eating those. Take the buns, dip in water, and swallow.
Shove that in your mouth.
But they have to eat everything.
Yes, in order for it to count, you have to have equal parts dog and bun to count as
man.
And so if you eat 90
so they put it in the water so that it makes it easier just to swallow.
It makes it easier to swallow, and it gives you the lubrication so you don't have to drink as much.
Yeah.
And so to get things down, because otherwise just eating
Now I feel sick.
Yeah, but just eating the bun would dry your mouth out just too much.
Yeah.
So you have to have the lubrication and the water to do that.
Man.
Man.
Well, this has been fun. This is
great.
cool.
This
Yeah,
is
I love
great.
it.
When's your next
Contest.
My next one will probably be ribs in Minnesota, and that should be end of July, I believe.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. How often do you go? Is it once a month or
It depends on how close they are.
as in location?
Yeah, as
right.
in location to Peoria.
Yeah.
I like I say, if I 8-hour drive, 10-hour drive. But it depends on what's around, and I try to make most of them that's in the area.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm still impressed with the Alexander steak.
Well,
That's crazy.
you're my favorite, Matt.
I appreciate that,
yeah,
Chuck.
Yeah. Seriously, it's great to have you on. It's been good. It's been
Yeah,
fun. So,
yeah.
guys, go check out MajorLeagueEating.com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. MajorLeagueEating.com. But I think we should still do the big three. What do you think?
Let's do the big three. Let's do it. Do you want to start?
I'm sure.
All right. Big three. 3 questions we're going to throw at you
Okay.
that haven't had anything to do with what we've talked about already, which is
Or
going to be hard.
it might be.
It might be. Okay. All right. Go.
So, what is one item you would like to eat in a competition that you never have?
Never have. Maybe cherry pie.
Okay.
I've done pumpkin pie, but I kind of prefer cherry pie.
Yeah. I love cherry pie. So, okay. All right. Andy?
What has been not so much the food, right? But more you've traveled with this. What was your favorite festival to go to?
Favorite festival has to be Big Ten championship game.
And where was that?
That's
Indianapolis,
in
right?
Indianapolis. The crowd is just crazy every year. They're just so hyped for the game. They're so hyped to see us.
So explain Big Ten. I know this might sound stupid, but
Oh, no,
we have
no,
a lot of
no.
people
Yeah, we
outside.
have a lot of-
Big Ten is a college conference, athletic conference, and the championship game to go into the playoffs. It happens in Indianapolis.
Basketball, football,
Football. That's
Okay,
football.
American football.
American football.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's held at the stadium that the Indianapolis Colts
Yes.
NFL team play in.
Oh, the stadium.
The actual stadium.
The stadium Peyton built.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a huge deal.
Yeah. Oh, it's crazy. I mean, the football fans are crazy.
Didn't you give my book to a cop on a horse there?
That might have been there. I'm
right.
sure I probably did there.
Okay.
Because that's an outside festival, and yeah.
Right on.
All right, last question, Chuck.
All right, my last question is throw out all the food and throw out the festivals. What is your favorite city to visit outside of Illinois?
Outside of Illinois. Corinth, Mississippi. Because it's got lots of Civil War and battlefields nearby, lots of history there, so you can always find something to do and go learn something while you're there.
Wow.
There we go.
Good. There we go.
All right, man. Well, it's been good.
And you mentioned Minnesota, Minneapolis.
Yep.
Your next. Is there any local from Peoria in the next few months?
Not that I know of right now.
Okay.
I mean,
All right.
everything else is going to be, Indy's probably going to be the closest one this year.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
All right.
So.
Well, you know what's next, mate.
All right. We're going to do Tate and his mate with Matt in the house.
Tate and his mate is where I will normally throw a word out to Chuck. But being as Matthew's here as well, I'll throw it out to both of you. An English word that is not used over here, and it can also be a rhyming Cockney slang. He loves that. Rhyming Cockney slang, which is basically rhyming words that say something else. Okay. So are we ready? Because I
do
think
it.
I'm going to
We're
go
good.
rhyming Cockney slang.
All right. Okay.
All right. Before you do an event, you have to be Hank Marvin.
You have to be Hank Marvin.
Hank Marvin.
Okay, I because I'm used to this contest and it's rhyming Cockney slang, I think I know.
Okay.
You want to guess first?
So it's do you want me to say it again? Before a contest, you have to be a Hank Marvin.
I don't know.
You have to be starving.
Starvin. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, Hank Marvin. Okay.
Hank Marvin
Starvin.
Starvin.
It's rhyming Cockney slang.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
See how I did that?
Yes. Hey, way to work it in.
Well, it has been great having Matthew on the podcast today. And, you cannot say that we have boring podcasts.
You got that right.
I mean, we've had everyone from Dallas Jenkins to Matthew, who's in the World Eating Contests.
Major League Eating.
Oh, man.
Man.
So make sure you're telling people about it. Tell them about this episode. And we are looking forward to seeing you all next week on Revival Town Podcast.
Yes. Thank you, Matthew.
You're welcome. Thank you guys for having me.
Bye-bye.
I expect lunch next time.
Oh!
Thank you for listening to this episode of Revival Town Podcast. Make sure you're following us on social media and remember to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. For more information, head on over to revivaltownpodcast.com.